We're in conversation with former President Jacob Zuma at his Nkandla compound, where he'll tell us about how he's an ANC member but a leader of the newly formed uMkhonto weSizwe party. We've spent an afternoon with the former head of state where we speak about a wide range of issues from the plans of this MK party, his arrest in 2021, and what he has to offer as an 82-year-old politician in South Africa. Thank you so much for agreeing to have us inside the controversial Nkandla compound, they say.
I don't know why is it
250 million rand.
Is that so?
They say.
was the South African money?
Yes.
Because in some places I've seen people having lots of money like this, but the number is so little.
Oh.
I'm asking, do you think that money that we are talking about was able to build this? Is that so? Do you think so?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. But what I do want to know is what life has been like after the presidency. I mean, you resigned on Valentine's Day 2018. And since then, you've been in and out of court. But most significant has been the fact that you are the first democratically elected president to be arrested. Just talk about that moment when when the Constitutional Court ruled against you and they said, Jacob Zuma must go to prison.
Well, to be, firstly, I knew in terms of certain types of democracies, presidents have time. In other democracies, there is no time. As long as the people say he's doing very well, it continues, and there's no. That's why I always say there are democracies and democracies. What do you mean by that? I've just said it, that in some instances, inside the democracy, there are specific years put. Others, the majority is 5, others about 7 or 8, then you change to take another one. In some countries, there is no such time. You are a president as long as people feel you are doing well. That's why I'm saying, therefore, there are democracies and democracies.
Okay.
Yes. As you would see with me as well, on the last question you asked, as another democracy, that people can, in a democracy, can have 20 years of a case, one case that is not ending. That's South African democracy. I haven't heard it anywhere else. So there are democracies and democracies, my dear. So me, when I was here, in the first instance, I am a freedom fighter. I still call myself a freedom fighter. Okay. Yes, because I fight against anything that is unfair to other people. And I will do so. I did so when I was young. I will continue to do so. I will never, no matter whether you talk to the biggest person or the biggest country, I don't give in on that one. Okay. And therefore, I never thought I would ever be a president. I will be a freedom fighter and liberate the people of South Africa. And I was very happy that I was at the heart of it. After joining and growing within the struggle, and indeed, finally, been part of participating at the point when South Africa was being freed. If you remember, the leadership in Lusaka sent me to come in and start what was called talks about talks. Yes. I led a small delegation to start that, which was the starting of the negotiations. And I was deep in it, as I've been deep all the time. I went to Roben Island, I did whatever. But finally, we succeeded to liberate the country after negotiations. And I was part of it. At that time, you'll remember, there was very heavy violence,
Yes.
particularly in KZN, which was Natal then, and Johannesburg in particular. And I felt that kind of violence was not fair, and it was started by people secretly, and there are many secrets in the world. And I happened to know, because of the job I was doing, how that violence started. As we were negotiating and getting into the country to participate in the negotiations, as we won elections for the first time, I then pleaded with the president, my president then, Nelson Mandela, to allow me to come to this province of KZN to participate in stopping violence.
Yes.
Matiba wanted me to be one of the ministers. And he said, no, I want you in my team of the ministers. And I said to him, please, I plead. I don't want, we have got more than enough comrades. And nobody can stop that war, because I don't think, firstly, people knew how it started, but also knew the behavior of the people who live in this province. Because if you don't know them, you can't stop them fighting unless and until you know them.
Yeah.
And I explained it to him that even if you're a president, if this violence appears in the TV globally, people will say, yes, Mandela is now the president, but his country is on fire, because that's how it looked like. And fortunately, because he was a man who was too bright than many others and too above me, he realized and agreed that I should come. So I came back here.
Yeah.
And I did not want to lead anything. I wanted to participate in stopping the violence. And that's what I think I did to a large extent, of course, together with other colleagues and other people. But also, having done so, I was then elected here by comrades as the chairperson of the province, which was fine. But I did not want to be somewhere there. I wanted to work down there. Because some of my training was down there.
Yeah.
But finally, they also wanted me to be the national chairperson, and they actually forced me to be, and I became one. And thereafter, I was forced to be the deputy president of Thabo Mbeki when Mandela left. And of course, as you know, maybe I put it very well that I'm problematic all the time. Because once I was a deputy president, I was also taken out of it by the president. And but I remained the deputy president of the ANC.
Yes.
I was also pushed away from there at some point, but the ANC membership said no. So finally, when Thabo left, Thabo Mbeki left as a president, I became the president. I thought it was going to be smooth, but it was not smooth.
What made you think it was going to be smooth?
No, because you are given, in terms of what was discussed, 2 terms that you will have, and then thereafter somebody would follow.
Okay.
That's the 2 terms I was talking about. Comrade Mbeki had being a deputy during Madiba, and then he had these 2.
Yes.
And we all believed that that was it. We actually used to say, some leaders in the continent, if they wanted a 3rd term, we said, no, that's not. Everybody said 2. But we ended up contesting one another, me and Mbeki.
Yeah. Do you think that was a good thing for the ANC in hindsight?
Absolutely not. It was not. I knew that even then it was not. But we in the ANC had not accepted that you can do a third term. It was a generally accepted thing. What was shocking was one of us saying, no, I want to have a third majority. That was what was shocking. The other one was a normal thing.
Do you think it's shocking now? So do you think it's more acceptable now to have a third term? Do you still stand by?
It's still done that way.
Yeah.
We have not set as an organization to say, let us now change this. We haven't. Or as revolutionaries in South Africa, the matter is known as two-term.
Yes.
So it's clear. Only at that time there was one interruption, which was corrected on the spot. Everything was straight.
Okay.
Now, then I became the president. And I had, because in the struggle I knew exactly what I was doing, what I needed.
Yeah.
So when I became the president, I had that opportunity. I did everything to bring about change in this country. Number of things. And I don't think that's a time to be talking about it because it is a story of its own.
Yeah.
But you will know very well. I introduced policies that were not here.
Like? Like?
Oh, you want me to count 1, 2, 3, 4?
Just give me two.
For an example, in this country at that time, there was a sickness that was killing people, right? Was called, I'm sure you'll remember. Huh?
HIV and AIDS?
You remember what it was?
Yes.
What was it?
HIV and AIDS.
HIV
and AIDS.
HIV and AIDS. Okay, I want people there who must understand. So, as you know, people were dying. And we had policies, we had discussed what we need to do to stop this. But at that time, those in power were saying no. They had a different view. So when I came in, I took what scientists were saying, and I said, this is what, and the death of people stopped. And up to this day, people remind me that I stopped people from dying in South Africa, which we had a policy, but there were people who were feeling differently from it. I also did a number of other things. For an example, I introduced things like rural development, which was not there before, which people, of course, did not understand properly. But it was also accepted that there was this to be done. We needed to develop our people. I declared that electricity must be everywhere in the country, not only in the cities.
Yes.
And people were saying, no, there's a shortage of, I said, shortage or no shortage, we want it. And I came with a number of other things that came. I joined a group of countries that are 5. They've got the name, you remember the name, what is the name?
BRICS.
BRICS. People think BRICS is teeny. Actually, is a name of 5 countries.
Yes.
Which is the group of the countries to change the world into a better way of life rather than what has been happening. Wherein countries who are not that strong, that grouping makes it move forward and change the political and economic things in the world.
Yeah.
And that group, the South Africa to get into there was a big thing that has actually shaken the world.
Do you still maintain that's part of the reason why you're no longer president?
Not only that.
Because
not
of,
only
of
that.
how
but it is one that was the biggest scheme of the big global countries who conspired that I should move because I was too active. I was also in Africa, making Africa therefore to grow in a particular way. At that time when I was there, Africa for the first time discussed the infrastructure of the entire continent. We discussed many, many big things. And that's why my enemies felt this man must move. Because there was no reason. I asked people who came to me to say, resign. What have I done? Nothing. Why? They told me their own story. So there were reasons why I had to be removed. And by then I said, okay, let me go to my place where I was born. Nkandla.
Which is where we are right now.
Where we are right now. And I've been sitting here peacefully.
Until you were arrested.
Until I was arrested.
Take me through the moment when I remember as a journalist, the judgment came and we were parked right outside here. Of course, there's a lot of discussion. There's a 5-day deadline for Begicele to implement in executing your arrest. But the moment where Justice Sisi Kampembe is saying, you must go to jail, where are you? What's going through your mind?
Well, I've been very clear all the time that there was a particular attitude towards me arising from different quarters, big and small, some very big, some buying small ones to do their work of the big ones. For an example, there was a point that there should be a commission that must investigate corruption, right?
State capture, to be specific.
Well, yes, that's a name.
I know
I've never
you
understood.
Debate. Yes, we know the
never
debate, like
understood.
there are three arms of the state. I know where you stand when it comes to that.
Exactly. It was also wrong. It remains wrong up to this day.
Do you regret not going to that commission?
No, I would have gone to the commission and tell what I wanted to say. I think some people did not want me to.
Did not want you to go to the commission?
Because I came there, I said the judge would not be fair to me. And I stated the reason. Therefore, I need somebody else to sit here so that I can talk to. But the judge said, no, I'm not going. I've never heard of that. And started writing his own statement, arguing with me on some matter that I'm saying, please move away, bring somebody else.
Do you regret that?
No, I don't regret, because that was demonstrating the kind of democracy in South Africa. What type of democracy? In the first instance, if we have a commission, it is all known. Once you have a commission, you must have a deputy. It's done everywhere. That judge did not have a person that if such a situation happens, will be there to come and take me and then we proceed. And he said, no, I'm not. Why? He said, no, I'm here. He actually wrote something to argue against me. It's never done. It's never done in law. It's never done. You don't sit there as a chair and say, I don't want to move away. I want to try you. It's never done. This is supposed to be a deputy judge. Number two of the whole thing going up there. Now, my lawyer asked him, just tell me why you decided to be the chair only without a deputy. Because this is a normal thing that you do.
Yeah.
He says, no, I did not want when I take decision that somebody must argue with me. Is that a democracy? Is that a legal, praise legal in the country? So I said, I can't therefore sit in with you. I can't talk with you. What does he do? Under normal circumstances, he will then go through the processes that are necessary with the commission and what do you do?
Yeah.
He straight away wrote a letter to the
Constitutional
Court and said in the letter, I'm charging Zuma. You must sentence him 2 years. This is a judge sitting as a chairperson of a commission. He tells the judges who are at the Constitutional Court, who report to him. So as a boss, he gives them instructions. And they don't use the legal, normal situation to say, sorry, you can't say we must try a case. Those guys try issues that have not been agreed at lower levels.
Yes.
I've never heard a fellow who stays up there sitting in a commission and instructing judges, and they all agree. And in the process of that, in the first instance, this judge is doing a wrong thing. I know. I'm not a child. I fought for this freedom. I understand democracy that I fought for. I can't tell me more than that because I don't remember him in the fighting, when we were fighting for freedom. But let alone that, all I'm saying, you realize the problems that I have about some of the things. Why, for an example, when I was never, there's nothing that was found about me, about this home. This home was done by me and the sons of my brother. We did the payment of this, everything. But I was told.
All of it?
I'm telling you what I'm telling you, unless you know there is something else.
Okay.
Because only things that government had to do to a person at the position of that in the country.
Yeah.
Therefore, they will come in to deal with that one. But I was told the monies were said so much and so much, but nobody has ever said, here where Zuma gets the money, here where he put it, etc.
Okay, but I want us to move beyond that.
No, I'm moving beyond. I'm just telling you about this home that we are talking about, that we are walking in.
Yes.
That people have been saying things about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
To say that, therefore, the judges said, took the instruction from the judge and charged me.
Yeah.
First of its own in the country. They are not there to deal with cases.
Contempt of the commission, the summons that were issued.
Exactly. That if we take it, it should have been taken to a court, to a judge, to deal with me. Not the Constitutional Court.
Okay.
What was constitutional about that? There was nothing constitutional. It was just a question of me and him not agreeing. And if that happens, it must be taken to whether it's magistrate or the judge. Not constitutional court. There was no constitutional issue that was out of the way. It wasn't. I said to him, and this is very true, you can't talk to me about this matter. I plead that to move aside, keep somebody else to talk to. Is that a constitutional issue? To be a case in the Constitution? I don't think so. If that is the case, then the South African democracy is something else. And they've been proving it bit by bit that indeed some of these things is just talk. It's not reality. Because they took an instruction from a judge of a commission, not even of a court. Yeah. Of a commission. and employed it. All they did was to lessen the judgment. Instead of 2 years, it was 15 months. And when the judges, they were saying I should come to court, I said, I'm not coming. That is my right.
It's your right not to go to court.
To the court for what? For judges who are being instructed by theirs who only judging, the commission. Because they are judges. I don't believe that. The judges must respect the law. Firstly, Judge Zondo should have respected what I was saying. They should have said to Zondo, we are wrong. Why should I go in because they are judges? I'm a citizen of this country. I'm not a fake. I'm a citizen of this country who also fought for the liberation of this country. who died, who stayed in prison for 10 years for that freedom, for that democracy. And you can't come and tell me when some of them did not even give a peace to fight for that freedom. So I will never do it. For me to be a revolutionary was not a fake, was not halfway.
Yeah.
Was a total thing. I was ready to die then by the enemy that I had disagreed with. So I couldn't say to a judge, because he's a judge, and then start saying, no, I'm coming, no. They then end up sentencing me, having not even tried me, because there might have been other ways. There might have other judges who say, go and deal with this case. They just decided everything. And the judge who was pronouncing said, yes, we are taking this right out of Zuma because we are Delela. He's silly. We are therefore putting a right which is not theirs to decide that I must go to jail. That's not democracy. For me, that's not the democracy I fought in this country. I know what democracy means. That then is what led to me being now arrested.
So when the judgment was handed down, you were angry?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
Were you here? Where were you? You were here?
I was here in this house of my father.
Were you watching it live on television?
Yes, I did. That's why I saw who was talking, the lady. The lady, Justice Lady, whether it's Kampempe or whatever, but that was the lady, and I was shocked. For that matter, a woman in a democratic South Africa, so angry against a person who is being victimized. Whew. That was saying to me, there's still a long way to go. So I said, okay, I'm not going there. They said, no.
So you are not going there as into prison? When they said the
wherever, yeah. Why should I?
You refused? Who did you tell?
Absolutely.
Said, I'm not going to prison?
I said so.
Yeah?
I'm not. I actually wrote a statement. I said, I'm not coming. I said, if you want to arrest me, you arrest me. I'm not coming. But this thing is wrong. And indeed, they were arresting me. And I said, I'm not going. I'm not going to court. I'm not going to prison either.
But
Why?
you ended up going.
Of course, yes. That's what happened.
At the last minute.
That's what happens when you deal with people who are oppressors of other people. You always get to jail. I ended up on Roben Island. It's not the first time. I was repeating it. What was even worse for me, they mobilized soldiers throughout the country to come and arrest this one man. Not even handling a stick of matches to burn one of the people. Just me. And people were angry of this country.
Yeah.
Very angry. They came here to say they must come and defend me.
I remember that.
Yes.
It was quite tumultuous outside the gates.
Absolutely.
I remember. And we know what happened even when you were arrested, the civil unrest.
Absolutely. Because when they brought the police, it was all over. And people were here to say, you can't take him. We could have had another massacre here. It was actually imminent. And government wanted it. Because in the afternoon at about 3, I phoned the commissioner and asked him.
Nkandla provincial?
No, before
National.
that. National.
Okay.
I asked, why are you sending the army to arrest me? Because if you wanted to arrest me, you would have brought the police to come and arrest me. Why this? Because it was something to arrest one little man at Nkandla with the whole army. I said, but what is this? And I realized that there was a plan in my own guess to kill people here.
To achieve what exactly?
To achieve the fact that we've dealt with one terrorist, because I was the first to be killed. I know the information. So I said, okay, let me save the poor people, innocent people. Let me not allow them to be killed. let me go to prison.
After you were arrested?
Now I'm coming there. I'm coming there. What happened, the government provoked the people. And this is never said. Because by arresting Jacob Zuma, they came, they said they are going to arrest him, come what may. Why is the issue, why there was a dispute was very clear. I had said they are messing up with my rights. I am a citizen. And they said, we are arresting you, being a judge, want to prove that we are in charge. That's what the judgment was saying. And they brought the police, all the police. That's provoking. That's provoking those people who want peace in this country. So I did not want them to die. So I left. I went to prison and served something I did not agree with. It is that taking a citizen, old citizen, having fought freedom, for freedom, send him to jail just to fix him up, that angered the people. And people were angry. And they don't have a jail, they don't have anything. So they decided to protest in whatever way they wanted to protest.
Quite a violent way of protesting.
Of course, the violence was there because the police came to shoot them.
Nearly 400 people actually died. Do you think that that's a good thing that it happened in your name? That's a bad thing. In your name, they're saying...
No, in my name.
Zuma. Yes.
But they're defending me.
They are responding to this violence.
They are defending me because they've got nothing else to do. If you take a man to prison, because we've got insimbi zokubopha, you have a country, we have got uMkhonto, abantu bathi-ke nathi-ke ngezandla zethu. Don't blame the people, blame the government who provoked that kind of action.
So
absolutely.
When we now fast forward,
yes,
Zuma's been arrested, Zuma is in court, fighting arms deal, fighting journalists, Billy Downer, etc. It's 2023, the 16th of December. Former President Jacob Zuma endorses this relatively unknown party called uMkhonto weSizwe. Is this endorsement in response to all the things that we've discussed, the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, your arrest, some would say even your relationship or lack thereof with President Cyril Ramaphosa and other things that you've said publicly?
There are many things that have happened and passed. This one that led me to establish a political party called uMkhonto weSizwe Party was the failures of my organization, the African National Congress, to keep the policies, to deal with the issues that we fought for, to change the lives and make the people live better. And the manner in which the leadership was already dealing with the ANC in term instead of leading it. I've said that in public very clearly.
I'd like to stop you there. You know, there was a time you were addressing an ANC gathering, I think it might have been a conference. You were still the president of the ANC.
Yes.
And you stood on the podium to say, those people who have been afforded the opportunity to become, leaders of the movement, when they leave, they must leave peacefully and mustn't go and start writing pieces about the ANC or criticizing the incumbent leadership. And yet today, you seem to be doing the very same thing in relation to the leadership of the ANC under President Cyril Ramaphosa. Are you not contradicting yourself?
Not at all. I did not say people who do so, they must not do so and just keep quiet even if the organization is being put down. I didn't say so. I said so because people would go out. They were not even coming to say, when I was the president, to say, Comrade Zuma, this is what we are not happy about.
Did you do that with President Cyril Ramaphosa?
Absolutely.
To say, I'm not happy.
I've said this in public. I said this in public. Firstly, Ramaphosa knows my views about him because I discussed them within the party.
Okay.
Yes. Firstly, when he wanted to be the president, which was breaking the rules of the organization before I finish my term, because that is a policy of the ANC, that you finish once the one who has been elected as the president of the ANC, the new president, there's 18 months that is allowed for him to settle, get to understand the ANC, prepare the strategy for the coming ANC election, national elections.
Yeah.
That is a policy that was discussed by the ANC and agreed, so that the other one will be continuing with the government and beginning to bring him in. But as soon as he was elected, he wanted to be the president.
But that happened with you when you came in after Mbeki.
No, not true. Mbeki finished all his terms. Mm-hmm. I was elected thereafter and allowed Mbeki to continue. It's not true. I never said that. I was waiting. I actually wanted Mbeki to stay more. It were other comrades in the National Executive Committee who said he must go at a particular time because they were accusing him of the manner in which he was handling the organization. The leadership of the ANC, I was in the minority. I said, let us not do it. Let us find a way to talk to Mbeki, how to handle himself until the final stage. They said, no, no, no. I've never done so. Whoever has that impression, it is wrong. I actually defended him. Now, but Cyril Ramaphosa wanted to come in now, backed by other leaders. In a meeting so far, where I asked, what have I done? They say, you've done nothing, nothing wrong. But we think this comrade is dynamic, is saying important things, all that people are loving it. We want him to give more time. They were actually not keeping with the policies of the ANC. And finally, when they were making all other kind of things, I decided to resign.
We're still in conversation with former President Jacob Zuma at his Nkandla home, where we've been talking about who exactly funds the uMkhonto weSizwe party, why young people don't seem to be leading from the front, and what else could this new baby bring to the party that couldn't be done when he was still president of the organization called the ANC for 9 years. Mr. Zuma, let's pick it up from the point where you are now endorsing this party called uMkhonto weSizwe. It's a name that many would have associated with the armed wing of the liberation movement. And as you would know now, after the various court cases, you have raised the ire of the governing party.
The ANC was banned. I was member of the ANC in 1960. In 1961, December, MK was established. Because the whole year, there was a debate about what do we do until a decision was taken. And then everybody there agreed that this is the name we need. So uMkhonto weSizwe was born as a military wing of the struggle in South Africa. With or done by, as I call them, all the parties that were in the alliance. So it was a decision of the entire alliance about finally this is what it is. It was, in other words, rescuing us as black oppressed people to have another alternative to fight.
So you're not stealing the heritage of the ANC?
Sorry?
And the liberation movement. You
Sorry?
Don't believe that you've stolen
Not
the
at all.
heritage
Not at all.
of the liberation movement?
No. As we look at the complex nature of the problems that the ANC is facing and the people are facing as a result of the ANC diverting somewhere, if you wanted to correct the situation, if you wanted to bring back the situation where it is supposed to be, you could no longer do it through talking, because the leaders, for an example, many of them were no longer talking. And I have very glaring examples of that. Also, the manner in which some of the leaders were attacking me when I had done nothing. You needed to find a way, how do we change this back to where we are so that we can reach our final destination?
So the MK party is still about saving the ANC, or does it have its own mission now? Because initially when you'd endorsed it, you said that you're still a member of the ANC, but you are endorsing MK. Now you are a leader of this new party. It's not about the ANC anymore, is it?
I think it is important to say the ANC had moved away from being the guardian of its policies and everything. But once I did this, they were so quick to say, Zuma has done X, Y, Z, therefore we are taking him out of the ANC.
Do you still believe you're a member of the ANC?
I am a member of the ANC.
But Balula says you have expelled yourself, the Secretary General.
No, they were saying so when they were still excited. I'm supposed to go, I was supposed to go there to discuss with them this thing, for myself to defend myself. And let me tell you what has happened. I've said, let me start this way. Quite a number of prominent ANC members have been voting with DA against members of the ANC.
How would you know about people's votes?
I know. They voted against me.
You mean
not
in Parliament?
Once. In Parliament, yes.
Oh, not at the ballot, okay.
Yeah, in Parliament. They voted many times, and they said so. And they actually violated the ANC policy. And some of them were very proud of it.
But they never started a new formation.
No,
it's quite different.
No. I'm talking about them violating whether you have not left or you have left is not the issue. The issue is they have violated the ANC policy that you could not vote with the opposition. What I have done, I have said, I will not vote for the ANC. I'll vote for the uMkhonto weSizwe. I've not even voted. But they say
you're
you're
the
out.
leader of the MK party. You're not just, it's not about
I am a leader of the MK, but
yes.
I established it.
You established it. We'll actually talk about that because
I'm a leader of the party. It's me who is a leader. I'm just telling you the story that these people have actually been voting with the opposition, violating the ANC policies.
So two wrongs make what you're doing right?
No, I've not done, up to now, I've not voted with the
MK party is an opposition party which you've publicly said.
Even if it is, I have not voted MK. I'm still going to do it, but I'm punished already for me declaring when they've voted many times with what you call. They're going to tell me, why are they still members of the ANC? I've sacrificed my life. I was ready to die. I went to prison. I went to exile. And some of the people who are leading, they don't even know what exile is all about. No, they don't know. They've never been in prison. I have contributed to this ANC. The reason, if you listen to my terminology, I said, I will die in the ANC.
Okay.
And I am
whilst
doing
being
this.
a leader of the MK party.
Exactly.
So after elections, does it mean you are taking that constituency to the ANC?
No.
How are you rescuing the
listen
ANC
to me
by leading another party? How
listen
does
to
that
me
work?
telling you, my good sister.
It's a contradiction.
Because you don't understand what is called a political something.
What?
We established MK in 1961 to save or rescue the ANC, among other things, which was the national organization, and save the black people. We established MK. And MK played a role that assisted us to come quicker to liberation as a military wing of the struggle in South Africa. Today, in a different way, the ANC is being killed by some of its members who are sent by other people. People in South Africa have been saying, and as a journalist you know, have been saying to ANC people, we are not going to vote you if you still keep Cyril Ramaphosa as a president. You have heard it.
So it's a personal vendetta?
No, I'm asking you have heard it. I'm asking, is it a vendetta or not vendetta? I'm asking you.
In some quarters it has
Wait. I'm telling you about the voters. And the voters of the ANC have been going down on the basis of that. And therefore the ANC has been killed systematically together. And we who know the ANC coming, we want to rescue the history of the ANC, the name of the ANC. That's why I won't leave it to people I think they've done wrong things. One day I could tell you more reasons why. The ANC, there is nothing wrong with the membership of the ANC. There's everything wrong with the leadership of the ANC or some leaders of the ANC.
Okay,
these are the people we needed to deal with. And
once you've dealt with them,
wait a bit, let me complete. I wanted to take the ANC as the biggest history among national liberation movement.
Yes.
And you can't take that and give it to the current leadership, like Ramaphosa's, and say they must now look after it. So I'm telling you,
so
that is what I'm telling you, the rescuing of the ANC. We can't take this rich history, unprecedented, many people looked after, and just give it to other people.
But you brought Cyril Ramaphosa back into the fold.
Wait.
How are you forgetting that history?
No, I've never done so. I will tell you one day.
In 2012.
I will tell you one day. It's not
Cyril Ramaphosa
It was brought by some members. It was brought by some members of the ANC who came to recommend him to me.
But you accepted it.
Sorry?
You accepted it. It was a
No,
collective
I'm not
decision.
the only one person who takes a decision
yes.
in the ANC. The ANC takes decision on the basis of consultations and discussions.
But you never had any red flags then?
I did.
Okay.
But it was not meant in public. I had red flags long time ago.
Already, your baby is not even a year old, but already there seem to be ructions. There's, some would say, confusion. Jabulani Khumalo says he's the leader of uMkhonto weSizwe. You allegedly have expelled him. He claims that his signature was forged, where there was a letter sent to the IEC ceding power over to you. What is going on with this uMkhonto weSizwe party?
Let me just start. Have you ever had an organization in South Africa who is 4 years old, but who is leading the race? Have you ever had
You're not 4 years old.
Huh?
You're not 4 years old. You're a couple of months.
Sorry. Not 4 years, 4 months. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. 4 months. 4 months, not 4 years, 4 months. But is leading the race. Was there ever an organization of that nature? Can you say it is dying? Who is dying? uMkhonto? Not at all. uMkhonto is growing, is big.
What about the confusion now with this leadership?
Every
You're
political
already fighting.
party,
It's so soon.
wait. Every political party, unless it is not a political party, there are discussions, there are quarrels, there are everything. ANC itself can tell you how many quarrels it has had in its life. It's part of politics. There's nothing new.
Did you send Jabulani Khumalo to go and register?
Absolutely.
uMkhonto
I had
on your
that
behalf?
discussion.
You sent him.
I had that discussion with him here in this house, here at Nkandla.
And it was always part of the plan?
I was helping to tell them what I'm doing in order to change this country. And I said I've chosen MK. But because MK is going to raise eyebrows to some people, I won't register it myself. I would register it through, there were 3 sitting next to me. So I said, we'll use your name. And we agreed. So that people must not realize I'm party to it. Because I was doing underground, total underground. I did that, and I don't have to argue with somebody who did not even know what uMkhonto was. What we are talking about, there are papers being written to court to explain that day where he had to sign. Because I put him here, I said, why do you now say this is your organization?
He still is saying that, absolutely.
No, I'm telling you, when I talked to him,
yeah,
I said, where do you come from? Because I've brought his brother and their friend in order to be here to hear what he says. No. I did not refuse to sign because I know the truth. In fact, somebody was saying, starting a discussion, I'd stop the discussion. I said, here's a paper, sign. Which he had participated in drafting.
So his signature was not forged? That
No,
letter
he signed
to the
in
IEC.
front of all of us sitting. We are going to be saying it in public. He signed, and it was sent.
You've spoken about how your party is so young and yet it has made an impact, or it has such wide reach. Who's funding uMkhonto weSizwe party?
Unfortunately, we've got nobody who's funding us now.
No money at all? I mean, there was an article
No,
that spoke about funding from Belarus. Is that
money coming from?
Belarus,
Who
Russia?
received it?
You?
Me?
You are a director of a company?
I've never received any. But I thought you were going to
You're
tell
not
me
funded by Russia?
When was I funded by Russia?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm not funded by Russia.
Who's funding you? Where do you get so much money
Listen,
to be all over the country?
Sister. When I worked underground the whole year until I made an announcement, I had not a penny.
Because you've been pleading poverty even in court.
I've been?
You've been pleading poverty even in court.
Exactly, because
so
I don't have
the
the
money to campaign?
No.
Campaigning is an expensive exercise.
I use my voice to tell the people what I've decided.
And then?
And people agreed. And they work today.
We were with you as a country for 9 entire years.
And I changed a number of things.
Right?
And I changed a number of things.
Okay, hang on a second. You're gonna answer me. Let me ask the question. You're gonna answer me. You can't answer until I'm done.
Okay, look.
You were with the country for 9 entire years. And when you look at the population, it's mostly made up of young people. Now you're at your not so tender age of what, 82, 83. Many are asking.
I'm 28.
Okay, backwards.
Okay.
You're at your not so tender age of 82. Let's be honest. Why don't you just allow young people to lead? What could you possibly contribute? You had your time. Allow other people to let this country grow and allow young people to run the country. What are you bringing to the table?
Have they displayed how they can lead the country?
Who?
The young people.
Are you saying young people can't lead?
No, I'm asking.
They
Why
have.
don't we have young people who are acting like me now? If they are capable of doing so.
So
Why?
you are saying you're the best option on
I'm
the
not
table?
saying I'm a best option. I sat for a number of years after retiring, and the country was going down with your young people and everybody else. You being young as well. You were doing nothing.
You can't say we were doing nothing.
What were you doing?
I'm in the media space. I use this platform and the space to
You can't liberate people with media.
So how are you liberating people again?
Because I'm calling people to an organization called uMkhonto weSizwe.
I've been watching you, on the campaign trail. Even during this interview, you've been quite energetic. And I can't help but wonder, were you ever terminally ill?
Me?
Yes, especially because in the courts, your health has been a subject of discussion. When the arms deal trial was supposed to start, you were not in a good state to stand for trial. And so it goes.
I think that is a very serious question to answer. To ask rather, because the health of a person is always known as a business of that person and the doctors. It comes to this discussion when people, like it is happening now, when governments are doing things to make people feel uncomfortable, follow other people for whatever reasons. That's why such questions will come. There was absolutely no necessity for such a question to come. Absolutely.